Okay, so explain what this means.
Alright, I got you. Alright, so Gyat Skibbity Rizzler, okay? So the first three words, Gyat Skibbity Rizzler, is a Rizzler who's evil, because Skibbity translates to evil, right? So it's an evil Rizzler, okay? And they have a Gyat, minimum level 5.
What does that mean? What does any of that mean?
So a Rizzler is someone who has a lot of Riz, and if you don't know what Riz means, it's someone's ability to, like, kind of pick up a woman or, like, get a girlfriend, stuff like that.
What about a man? Could a woman rizz up a man?
Yeah, they could, but it's usually the man being the Rizzler. In most cases, a man is a Rizzler, but a woman could be a Rizzler, but in most cases, it's a man. Alright, anyways, like I said previously, Skibbity means evil, right? Because in the critically acclaimed Skibbity Toilet series, Skibbity toilets are obviously evil, right? So the people who created this language, the pioneers, deducted that, okay, so if Skibbity toilets are evil, and you say Skibbity, then Skibbity means evil, okay?
Why don't they just say evil? Why do they say skibbity?
Because Skibbity's cooler.
Okay.
Okay, and then Gyat. So there's two versions of Gyat. Gyat, which is the infinitive tense, and then Gayat, okay? So there's not like a clear-cut definition of when to use Gyat or Gayat, but you just kind of know, okay? And then, so what a Gyat is, or a Gayat, it's someone, usually a woman, who's attractive, okay? So that's what a Gyat is, okay? And then, like I said, there's not really like a clear-cut line of when to use Gyat and Gayat, alright? So a Gyat Skibbity Rizzler is a Rizzler who's evil and is rizzing up a Gyat, okay?
Okay, so they're an evil, like, pickup artist.
Yeah, and they see an attractive woman, so they're using their Riz.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm Ohio Sigma Chi Sinat. So they're saying I'm. So Canada here is an Ohio Sigma. Okay, so Canada is the Ohio Sigma. This person, right? He's an Ohio Sigma. So in Ohio means someone who is weird, because like Ohio's weird, like it's goofy, right? It's goofy off. Right?
What is goofy awe?
Someone who's goofy. Someone who's just like random, weird person, okay? That's what Ohio is. Alright? So Canada is an Ohio Sigma. And if you don't know what Sigma means, Sigma is someone who's like, you know, like the whole beta, delta, gamma, alpha system, right?
Yeah.
What humans have created, they went above alpha, the Sigma level, right? This is like the most desired position of a man, right? It's the lone wolf, the strongest, most like dominating version of a man, right? The most manliest man there is, right? So basically, since Canada is an Ohio Sigma, he's a weird Sigma, okay? And then Chi Sinat. So if it also says Ohio, that means you're in Ohio. So that's like the setting. You're in Ohio because you only have the prefix of Ohio if you're in it.
So everything is weird, right?
Only if you use the prefix. So if you use the prefix, you're in Ohio, which means you're weird. So it's kind of like a loop, little loops together.
So is there a suffix?
I mean, kind of. The only way a suffix would work if you use Ohio after the word, but in most cases, Ohio usually becomes before a word. So for example, if something says Skibbity Ohio Sigma, Ohio wouldn't go with Skibbity, it would go with Sigma, because Ohio would be the prefix of Sigma, right? So in rare cases, Ohio is a suffix, but in most cases, no. Alright, so I'm Ohio Chi Sinat. I'm Ohio Sigma Chi Sinat. So Canada is an Ohio Sigma who's a meeting Chi Sinat. Okay. So next sentence. Gyat Ohio Riz Skibbity Rizzler. So yeah, okay, in this case, Ohio would be a suffix with Gyat, okay? So there's a weird Gyat, okay? So we see a weird Gyat, and then Riz Skibbity. So we have evil Riz and
What is
Rizzler.
evil Riz? What constitutes as Riz that is evil?
Like think of Bowser, right? Like Bowser.
That's not Riz, that's just abduction.
No, but like, just think about it, okay? So like, Bowser, he kidnaps Peach, right? To riz her up, right? To like, ooh, I love Peach. He's like, oh yeah. So Bowser's like, alright, I'm gonna kidnap you so I can riz you up, right? That'd be evil Riz.
That's just abduction.
No, it's not, bro. It's Skibby Riz. It's not abduction. Trust. Alright.
I thought. Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay, I thought that was gonna be Ohio Riz because it's strange.
Strange Riz would be like someone begging on their knees, like, please give me your Snapchat, please give me your number. That'd be Ohio Riz. Alright. So a weird Gyat, and there's evil Riz. So in this case, since Rizzler is after Riz Skibbity, the Riz has just manifested, right? So someone doesn't possess the Riz. It's just Riz is its own thing in this case. So, and then there's a Rizzler. So the Rizzler, it doesn't possess it, but it's utilizing the
What is a Rizzler?
Someone who has a lot of Riz. I said that in the beginning.
Okay, and they're utilizing what?
They don't possess the Riz, but they're utilizing it.
Wait, but I thought a Rizzler was a person with Riz.
I know. They possess their own Riz. They don't possess Skibbity Riz.
What is?
Because there's no prefix or suffix to determine what kind of Rizzler they are. So they just have a normal Riz. Okay?
Okay. So this is just a normal pickup artist.
Who's using evil Riz. So a normal pickup artist who's using evil Riz. Okay?
So.
And they're using it on a weird Gyat.
So there's like this guy, and he's like abducting this strange, attractive person to
Rizzler.
But that's not Riz, and why?
Yeah, that is Riz. That's Skibbity Riz.
And if this person is weird, does this mean that they're like part of it?
No.
Do they
No.
want this to happen?
No. I mean, it depends. There's many forms of Ohio. It depends on how Ohio that you're feeling that day. Like, assuming, so this is at the beginning of the sentence, we'll just assume that they're more on the lower side of Ohio. So they're just goofy, but they don't want to get Skibbity Riz. But they got Skibbity Riz anyway. Alright? So, next line, or next sentence. It's all a phantom tax What? I cannot read. Okay. It's all a phantom tax mix in the Deris and Yacht. Okay, so it's all a phantom tax mix. Okay, so mix is just a normal word. It's not Gen Alpha language, so we'll just have to take it.
What does it mean in this context?
You just use it how you would normally. Not like necessarily. So there's like two forms of mix, right? Like you're mixing something together, like a solution, right? Or a mix, like a mix of people or an area, right? So we're gonna use like that mix of people or area form of mix, right? So it's all a phantom tax mix. So mix can roughly be translated or changed to situation. So it's all a phantom tax situation. So the situation you're based in is about a phantom tax, right? So it might be a conflict about phantom tax. It might be like a friendship being made over phantom tax. And if you don't know what phantom tax is, there's two cases of it. But the first case of phantom tax is just when you take someone's food, right? Different percentages of phantom tax depending on how good you are with the phantom IRS.
What is the phantom IRS?
Like the organization behind the phantom tax.
What is the? But this is not a legitimate organization.
Yes, it is. Okay.
I've never heard of the phantom IRS.
Well, yeah, because you have good relations with it, so they don't phantom tax you. Okay.
But
so,
I never had any relations with them.
Exactly. So if you don't provoke them, they won't phantom tax you. Okay.
How do I avoid provoking them?
Just doing what you're doing.
But I don't know what I'm doing. That is not provoking them.
Just don't insult Phantom or Kaisenat. Okay.
But this shit's stupid.
You better not say that again, or else you're gonna get Phantom taxed. So unless you want your food to be Phantom taxed, don't keep talking like that. Alright, and the second use of Phantom tax is when you're rizzing someone, right? So, for example, let me find a line in here. So, hold on. Okay, Phantom tax riz gyat. Alright, this line right here. Phantom tax riz gyat. Alright, in this case, Phantom tax would mean to riz someone because riz is the suffix, right? So, if you're Phantom tax rizzing a gyat, that means you're using a riz. So, in this case, riz has manifested because it's just by itself. It's not necessarily by itself as like its own word. It's lightly connected to Phantom tax. So it still manifests, but it's a suffix of Phantom tax. Okay?
Nothing you said made any sense.
Or you're just gonna have to deal with it. Alright? So the riz is manifested, and anyone, is taking part of that riz to use them themselves, right? So they're not a rizzler, they just have normal average riz. It's just a normal person with average riz. Right? And they're rizzing up a gyat. So that's what Phantom tax riz would be in this case. Okay. So that's
why did he say our names earlier?
It's fine, it doesn't matter. Because we're so cool and epic, that's why.
But you didn't explain that.
It's just, that's not Gen Alpha language, it's just...
But why are we involved in this?
Because that's what Canada felt like. That's what the Ohio Sigma felt like.
Yeah. How is he involved in this again? I forgot.
Because he said I'm Ohio Sigma, so he's an Ohio Sigma.
That's it? He's not involved in the storyline at all?
A little tiny bit, super tiny. He was only in it for like one sentence.
It's all Phantom tax mix in the Deris and Dodi gyat.
So when it says in the Deris and Dodi gyat, that means a gyat has manifested, right? Because they're talking about a person's gyat. So in this case, the person's gyat are me and Doni, right? So a 12-year-old's gyat and a 16-year-old's gyat, which it would be illegal, but it's okay, it doesn't matter. Alright, so our gyats have manifested. They've like separated from our own bodies, and the gyats are just like on their own. They have like a mind of their own, right? So a Phantom tax mix in our manifested gyats would be me and Doni are in the situation of a Phantom tax, right? And that Phantom tax would be Phantom taxing our gyats, right?
So they're gonna steal our butts that have exited our body in this like reality to go in this one, or
no, that would be using the first use of Phantom tax. But in this case, since you're talking about a gyat, this would be the second use of Phantom tax, which is rizzing Phantom tax, right? So me and you are rizzing up our own gyats that have manifested away from us. Okay? You got that?
Okay.
Alright, next sentence. Okay. Ohio Kaisenat Sigma gyat riz or skibbity riz. Alright? So in this case, Kaisenat is in Ohio, which means he's weird. So Kaisenat is being weird. And he's also a Sigma.
But I thought this was also taking place in Ohio. I thought this was like established.
Only when you use the prefix.
No, but you said that earlier.
No, I never said that.
Yeah, you did. Like a while ago, you said that this storyline is taking place in like the location of Ohio.
Yeah, in that sentence, because
Yeah,
you're using the prefix.
I thought this was like some overarching narrative.
No.
Oh.
Because when you talk about like, okay, let's say this setting is in Kaisenat land, okay?
I thought like this whole paragraph was like one overarching narrative.
Yes, but not in Ohio.
So why was the previous thing in Ohio, but now we're using?
Because the setting changed.
But where does it say that?
You just no. See, you're not a pro in Gen Alpha language, so you wouldn't know.
But it's like, wouldn't it say like explicitly if the setting has changed? Like now we're in Ohio, or now we're in Kaisenat land.
No, it wouldn't.
But how do you
You can differentiate with that by that looking at the sentences, or if you go to another situation. Okay. Anyways, so Kaisenat is in Ohio, and he's a Sigma. So he's a weird Sigma. Okay. And then there's so Gyat in this case is a prefix. So Gyat Rizzler, Gyat is the prefix. Okay. So a Rizzler has a level 5 Gyat. So there's a Rizzler with a Gyat. And Skibidi
What are the different levels of Gyat?
The higher level, the bigger Gyat.
Okay.
And then there's...
What's like the range?
Well, I mean, numbers are infinite, so you can have an infinitely big Gyat.
So this is like a pretty like not amazing Gyat. Like this is a pretty like bad Gyat.
No, Gyats get good around level 3, but if you're using Gyat as a prefix, it's like 99.9999% of the time a minimum of level 5. So level 5 Gyat would be like a Gyat.
So, but if level 5 is already very desirable, then like, and this like scale could go on infinitely, like, would be like a level is like a level 13 like even like feasible or possible?
I don't know, depends on how far plastic surgery has gotten.
But after that point, it doesn't even.
The only reason why the scale is infinite because numbers are infinite. But if you're putting this in practice, then the max Gyat would probably be somewhere around 8.
Okay.
Okay, so there's Skibidi Riz and it manifested. So there's Evil Riz, and there's a Rizzler with a Gyat and Sigma, and then Kaisenat's a Sigma, and he's weird. Okay, so Kaisenat sees a Rizzler with a Gyat, and he's gonna use the Skibidi Riz to Riz up a Gyat Rizzler. So that's a pretty weird case.
Wait, so he is using Evil Riz to pick up another pickup artist that is deemed attractive.
Yeah, because in this case, Kaisenat is a Sigma, and Sigmas can Riz up Rizzlers.
Is there like some sort of hierarchy that I'm supposed to know?
Yeah, the gamma, delta, beta, alpha.
No, but Rizzler is not in there. Rizzler is.
Yeah, Rizzler is like its own thing, but since Sigma is the highest level of man, in this case the Rizzler would be a woman because they're straight probably. So, and Kaisenat is straight. Okay, so since
Is this Kaisenat person like a character that's well established?
Yeah, he's a streamer. He's streaming right now. I think he has like 45k people watching him. This is Kaisenat, the pioneer of Riz. Alright, anyways. So, the Gyat Rizzler is a woman, okay? And Kaisenat is weird, and he's a Sigma, and he's using Evil Riz to Riz up the Rizzler. Okay, next sentence. Ooh, this is a long sentence. Okay. Phantom Tax, the Ohio, Rizzler Sigma, Phantom Tax, Gyat, Skibidi.
What is this?
So, in this case, since you're Phantom Taxing the Ohio Gyat, Gyat is also a suffix, right? Right? And then, okay, so you're rizzing up an Ohio Gyat, so you're rizzing up a weird Gyat, okay? And then there's a Rizzler who's a Sigma, okay? So the Rizzler's a man, okay? And then Phantom Tax Gyat Skibidi, okay? So the Sigma Rizzler is rizzing up, because Phantom Tax in this case is Riz, so the Sigma Rizzler is rizzing up an evil Gyat. So what's happening is there's only one character in this sentence, the Sigma Rizzler, okay? And he's Phantom Taxing 2 Gyats, an Ohio Gyat, so a weird Gyat, and an evil Gyat, okay? So that's what happened. A Sigma Rizzler is rizzing up 2 people. Okay, next sentence. Okay, ooh, this is a really long sentence. Okay, the Ohio mix, so Ohio mix in this case, if you're using just normal language, would mean a weird situation, okay? So, this weird situation is Kaisenat's Riz. So Kaisenat's Riz has manifested, and it's in a weird situation, okay? So, and then Skibidi Gyat Ohio. So this Gyat is evil and weird, okay? So there's one character so far, and there's Kaisenat Riz, it manifested and is in a weird situation with a weird and evil Gyat. Okay. And then Rizzler's Phantom Tax Gyat Sigma. Okay. So Rizzler's Phantom Tax would mean, okay, there's two other characters in here. There's Sigma Gyat and the Rizzler's Phantom Tax. So in this case, since it's Rizzler's, this means that it's possessive. So the Rizzler's Phantom Tax is rizzing up a Sigma Gyat. So this actually works out because Gyat comes after Phantom Tax and Rizzler's is possessive. So basically, okay. Anyways, so overall, so far, Kaisenat's Riz is in a weird situation and there's a weird and evil Gyat. And then a Rizzler's Phantom Tax is rizzing up a Sigma Gyat. So 3 characters. Okay, and then right after it's the Riz of the Ohio Gyat. So 4 characters in this sentence: the Ohio Gyat, the Skibbity Gyat Ohio, and the Sigma Gyat. Okay?
I hate this.
Okay, so basically, in total, Kaisenat's Riz is in a weird situation with an evil weird Gyat, and a Rizzler's Phantom Tax is rizzing up a Sigma Gyat. To be honest, that last part, I don't think is translatable. So I'll just skip that. Alright.
You're telling me that this is like also like interpretive, like it's not like actual, like you can.
It depends what language you're translating it to. Like for English, it can be very like foundational, where most, like almost 90% of sentences can be translated, but the other 10% can't. So it depends on what language you're translating into. Alright. So, alright, here we have a Gyat, Sigma, Skibbity. Okay. So we have a Sigma who has a Gyat and they're evil. Okay. And then Rizzler, Ohio, Phantom Tax. So there's a weird Rizzler and he's Phantom Taxing Kaisenat's Riz. So Kaisenat's Riz is manifested, and a weird Rizzler is rizzing it because Phantom Tax in this case is Riz. So we have a Sigma Gyat who's evil, a weird Rizzler who's rizzing up Kaisenat's Riz, and Kaisenat's Riz, since it has 2 suffixes, Ohio and Sigma, Kaisenat's Riz that manifested is weird and a Sigma. So only 2 characters matter, but there's 3, so we can just disregard the evil Sigma Gyat. So in this case, this sentence can be translated into an evil a weird Rizzler is rizzing up Kaisenat's weird Sigma Riz. Alright. Next sentence. It's all part of the Gyat, Rizzler Gyat, Sigma Skibbity, Ohio Phantom Tax. Alright. So in this case, it's all part of the Gyat means that a Gyat has manifested from somebody, could be anybody, I don't know who. So it's all part of the Gyat. So Gyat has separated from a person and manifested. Okay. So the Gyat.
What are some manifestations of things?
Riz can be manifested. Phantom Tax Riz.
I'm not asking. I'm asking why.
Just depends on how you word your paragraph, sentence, whatever. Just depends on how you word it. That's why. So unless you want, when you're writing or you're actually doing, you manifest it or you don't.
Like a freaking Yu-Gi-Oh summon? Did I summon my
Yeah.
Riz?
Yeah, exactly.
Why isn't it just like, am I manifesting confusion right now? Is that what I'm doing?
No, because confusion can't be manifest.
So there's only like certain classes of things that can be like manifested?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So anyways, so it's all part of the Gyat. Someone's Gyat separated and it manifested into like its own thing. And then the Rizzler Gyat, so the Rizzler has a Gyat. And then Sigma Skibbity, Ohio Phantom Tax. Okay. So there's an evil Sigma and his weird Phantom Tax is rizzing up a yacht wisdom on a yacht. Okay, my bad. Ooh, that's kind of long. Okay. The mix in Riz is Kai Snat's Yacht, Skibbity Rizzler, Ohio Sigma, Phantom Tax, Riz Yacht. Alright. Oh no. Phantom Tax, Riz Gayat. In this case, it'd be Gayat, not Yacht. Alright. So, the mix in Riz is Kai Snat's Yacht. So, the situation we're in is a manifested Riz rizzing up Kai Snat's Yacht. So two things have manifested here. Okay? Riz and Kai Snat's Yacht. And the manifested Riz is rizzing up Kai Snat's Yacht, which is manifested. Okay. And then Skibbity Rizzler Ohio Sigma. Okay, so I think this Rizzler has almost every prefix and suffix. It has 3 prefixes and suffixes: Skibbity, Ohio, and Sigma. So this Rizzler is weird, it's a Sigma, and it's evil. And it's using its Phantom Tax to rizz up a Giat. So 2 things are happening. Manifested Riz is rizzing up Casanat's manifested Giat. And then an evil Sigma, a weird Sigma Rizzler, evil too, is using its Phantom Tax to rizz a Giat. So Phantom Tax would be risen in this case, so it'd be risen again. Alright, and then short and sweet to end off this paragraph. Okay, that's the Ohio of the Casanat mix. So in this case, the Casanat mix actually starts this whole thing. So the situation we're in right now is Kai Cenat. So we're actually interacting with Kai Cenat right now, the pioneer of Riz, this guy. Okay, so we're going in an interaction with the pioneer of Riz. And then that's the Ohio of it. So since we're interacting with Kai Cenat right now, and we're in Ohio, our interaction is weird. So that's how the paragraph ends. Alright, last paragraph. Alright. In Ohio Gyat, Sigma Phantom Tax, Riz Skibbity Gyat, or, hold on, let me restart that. Okay. In Ohio Gyat, Sigma Phantom Tax, Riz Skibbity Rizzler, Ohio Sigma. Alright. So, in Ohio Gyat has manifested, and we're on it right now. So, since it's manifested, it can choose its own level of Gyat, and since it's got to be pretty big for multiple people to stand on it, we gotta assume it's actually a level 500 Gyat that's manifested itself. So, in this case, it's probably level 500 or above. Okay, so on a massive Gyat, there's a Sigma who's Phantom Taxing Evil Riz. So, on a weird Gyat, a Sigma is rizzing up Evil Riz. So Evil Riz is manifested, and then I
think you're just saying manifested as a crutch for not being able to understand like what it's happening in the current context.
No, because in Ohio Gyat means that the place we're in is an Ohio Gyat. And then Sigma Phantom Tax is a person who's a Sigma, and Phantom Tax in this place, in this word of use, is Riz, because the Skibbity Riz has manifested, right? It's its own thing, okay? So, on a weird Gyat, a person who's a Sigma is using their Riz to Riz up Evil Skibbity. Evil Riz. And then Rizzler Ohio Sigma. So we can connect the Rizzler Ohio Sigma back to this original Sigma. So there's two Sigmas, and one of the Sigmas is Weird and a Rizzler. So they're both rizzing up Evil Riz. Okay. It's a Gyat of mix, Gyat Ohio Skibbity Rizzler. Okay. So, let's see. It's a gyat of mix, so mix can be roughly translated again to the situation we're in. So the situation we're in is based around a gyat. And then gyat Ohio. So it's a weird gyat, and there is a Rizzler who's evil because there's a Skibbity Rizzler. So there's a conflict or situation based around a gyat. And then so there's a situation based around a gyat, and there's a weird gyat, and the weird gyat is getting rizzed up by an evil Rizzler. Oh my god, this is a long sentence. Okay. Phantom Tax the Sigma Chi Synapse. Okay, we'll start with that part. Okay, so you're phantom taxing the Sigma Chi Synapse. Okay, so in this case, phantom tax is just normal. You're taking someone's food. So since you're phantom taxing the Sigma Chi Synapse, this means that Chi Synapse is Sigma and you're taking his food. Alright. The Riz mix in Ohio gyat. So this situation is based off of Riz and in Ohio gyat. So it's saying in, so the place we're in is in Ohio gyat, so it manifested. So there's no one actually there, but this Ohio gyat has been, I wouldn't say possessed, but like, yeah, I guess it's been possessed by a Riz, And then Skibbity Sigma Phantom Tax Rizzler. So we have an evil Sigma who is Phantom Taxing a Rizzler. So an evil Sigma is taking a Rizzler's food. And then Ohio Chi Synapse gyat Rizzler Sigma. So Chi Synapse is weird. No, okay, his gyat is being weird. And it's with a Sigma Rizzler. The Rizzler's Sigma, so in this case it's possessive. So I guess the Rizzler has a pet, and its pet is a Sigma. And then Chi Synapse's weird gyat is rizzing up the Rizzler's Sigma pet. Alright, last sentence to wrap all of this up. It's all Phantom Tax and the Skibbity gyat of Ohio. So we'll start off with in the Skibbity gyat. So it's saying in the, so we're in a place, and that place is Skibbity gyat, so it manifested, okay? And it's all Phantom Tax. So it's saying it's all, so whatever's going on, it's about Phantom Tax. So on an evil gyat, something's going on with Phantom Tax. And of Ohio. So this evil gyat that manifested is weird because it's in Ohio, and whatever's happening, it's because of Phantom Tax. So basically what we deduced from all this is that we have multiple characters using their Riz or Phantom Tax or whatever to interact with each other in their own little world, right? Whether they're on a gyat, whether they're on Phantom Tax, whether they're on Riz, whether they're on whatever. So all these people are with each other, using their Riz, using their whatever, using their whatever, on a gyat, Rizzler, and whatever. So that's what we have deduced from all of this. So thank you for watching, and I hope you understand some more about Gen Alpha slang or language.